generation.
So I'll advise young people that when you feel like you're stressed, it's good for a young person to find something that when he does, he feels happy.
Okay.
If it's a hobby, it's a talent. I like there's different sports that people can do.
Yeah.
If when you play football, you feel nice, you don't have stress, then you can do it.
True.
Because also it's a good to have. If it's about what you're doing, Boniface, talking to people, offering us leadership skills to people, then do it.
True.
You'll be engaged and you won't find time now to go and try to release your stress somewhere else.
Through a more expensive. For example, someone has a problem, a stress with family, and you overlook resolving them with your partner. You go and drink. Even if you drink, tomorrow morning you'll wake up to your partner.
Same person.
Who is sad?
Who is sad?
So maybe we can talk about the interconnectedness between drugs, substance abuse, and mental health. I think those are very intertwined issues. Yeah.
You can't talk of drug abuse and fail to mention mental health, because at some point drug abuse causes mental health issues.
Yeah.
And also at some point mental issues lead some people to drug abuse.
Yeah.
Someone said that he feels depressed and he feels with this stress. Maybe now go and take alcohol.
Actually, as we start talking about mental health, there has been a lot of controversy around this issue. We have seen lately that there have been many events which have been organized related to mental health. Many NGOs are focused on mental health. Many young youth leaders are championing for mental health. There are so many webinars about mental health. And it has reached a point where some people feel it's like cliche. They have taken it as a normal thing.
Conversation.
No, exactly, as a normal conversation. This thing has been too much talked about. I don't think it is that serious. And actually, I have seen in some WhatsApp groups people say this thing is a plot to get money from donors. I think it is. Does the conversation about mental health really matter? Let's begin from there. What do you think?
On my opinion,
I
think that conversation mental health, it really matters. As much as it really matters, it won't solve the problem if the people themselves, those people who are suffering under the influence of those mental illness, even if they have the mental issues, they don't take it seriously.
Sure.
The conversation just to create awareness, but the decision belongs to the person. You see? So the conversation, at least when we do this conversation, we try to identify some of the causes of mental issues, how we can cope up with it. It's a lie to somebody, but it must come from that person. How can the person? Do I want to respond to this? You know, Bonnie can tell you something, and if you are not willing to respond to it, then you want to give help to you. So it really matters.
Wow.
It's a good conversation, and I'll encourage. I'm also happy with the NGOs, those groups, the youths who are trying to speak it out. Let's speak it out. Let's tell them the truth. You know, truth shall always triumph.
And actually, that is a very interesting insight. This conversation is not meant to solve your problem. This conversation is meant to keep you with knowledge and awareness so that you can handle things, events in your life appropriately. And you know, knowledge is power. That is what they say. Knowledge is power. It is power. Because even to date, conversation about HIV/AIDS awareness is still relevant. It is relevant. It is not meant to prevent you from doing some things which will lead you to HIV/AIDS, but it will equip you with awareness so that you know, as I engage in day-to-day activities, there is the risk of HIV/AIDS. I think that we agree that this conversation, and for people who think it is irrelevant, I think now that is a good perspective that you have gotten. As much as we're talking about it, the initiative must come from the people who are suffering the issue. Very good. Now, let's begin with how drugs and substance abuse leads people to mental health issues.
I won't take it even far. I can say in our village, we have these young people. When I was growing up, they went to campus, they went to universities, And in the process of studying, they got themselves into these drugs. They used to abuse drugs. So at some point, the guy comes home. The guy you sent to the university, you're in the village, they say, we sent you to the university.
Yes.
So when you come back, in your mind, like, you are not reasoning the way you used to.
Yeah.
Or maybe you are not functioning the way the society expects you, like someone is learning. And you find that such people, they come back to the village, maybe someone is not reasoning well, he behaves like you can just see from afar that this person is mentally challenged.
Yeah.
Because maybe when he went to campus, he started abusing the drugs exposure. Maybe from the village, then he went to the town. Now he get different friends who are doing different things without even questioning.
Yeah.
That's why you say knowledge is power. Without knowing that if I do this, it will have this impact in my life. They continue doing it. With the time, they get themselves that they're mentally challenged. So drug abuse, excessive use of drug, or within the, we say that the effect of drug won't show just once the moment you drink it.
Yeah.
But with time, as you continue, there's this dysfunctional that it causes in your brain,
Okay.
in your brain. So with the time, the way you reason, the community, the way you think, the way you do things, the way you react when you're with people, it drugs always cause a problem with it. It's always influence it. So when you are under drug influence, you find yourself that, just as I said, that there's a teacher who is, again, when he writes, you come out, the hands tremble.
He can't write.
He can't write.
Unless he has taken alcohol.
It's taken over. So alcohol really, it interferes with our brain.
Yeah.
The way we reason, the way we think, the way we act.
I think as well, to bring more light to between how mental health issues can lead to, how drugs can lead to mental health issues. I think sometimes due to dependency and in pursuit of feeling cool, you end up overspending. Sometimes misuse of resources.
Funds.
And for example, you know, there are those memes which are there, but they are real. You end up filling yourself with a bill of about 5,000, 10,000. And your salary is just more, or that's money which you've been sent to pay fees or to pay rent, and you end up partying with all of that. The next thing you'll be into is depression. You'll be very stressed because you can't call back home. You can't ask for friends for money, because mostly people who drink together as well are not very good at supporting each other in construct. They just drink it first.
They'll buy things.
But they may not show up when you are in need of
When
support.
you need of support, they won't show up.
Yeah, so I think that's one. There are also times when, due to continuous use of drugs, family relationships can be broken. There have been even divorce cases reported, relationship between children and their parents, they get ripped. And I think some of the most important things of a human being are family.
Yeah.
They are source of income. And if those two are affected negatively by the use of drugs, definitely the cognitive ability and the peace of mind of that person won't be the same.
Yeah, sure.
So I think as well, drugs like hard drugs, they lead to even madness. There are guys, true. There are guys who have become insane. Like this guy is completely insane. Nobody bewitched there. You know where I come from? People they also believe that you can get mad because of being bewitched. But you find that even bewitchment, nobody has bewitched that guy. Nobody is not under any stress. The guy just, his head bursts. The head, you take things until those cases, people are taken to rehabilitation centers where it is never guaranteed that you will find help. So now that is the first perspective. Drugs leading someone to mental health issues. Now we come to mental health issues leading someone to drugs. How is that?
Okay, you have mentioned something of depression.
Yes.
You have also mentioned maybe, one of the causes of mental issues, loss of someone you love. Maybe the abuse, maybe experience of the past, maybe you were abused somehow. You find that these people, they are so lonely, and they try, they think, okay, if I go and have something, at least I want to be sober, and this will help me to forget it, maybe to stay without thinking about these things.
Oh, okay.
And even depression, when someone is depressed, because mental issues, these are when your mind is not stable.
Yeah.
It's unstable.
Yeah.
You can't reason well. Like there's a lot in you that you feel, okay, if I do this, I'll feel good.
Yeah.
So in such situation, you find that people try to find rescue. They think that they find rescue in drug abuse. Maybe they lost, yes, I said the loss of loved one. And someone lost someone, even in the movies. Yeah. And that's something that we also fail to mention, that most of the content that even the young people are currently, even not the young people, even the adults are showing, even in our social media accounts, they really encourage drug abuse.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if someone is watching a movie and
Yeah.
someone is drunk, this is a child who's watching. Yeah. So
And it looks like a very good movie scene.
so these are always the things that as content, if we are really serious about this fighting drug abuse, it must start with also the government also. They need to help in this process, even the people regulate the content. So that there's some content you should not allow, because they render these young people on the danger. Because a child can see someone abusing drug in a video, and he thinks it's good. Like an actor, someone staggering.
I can do it in real life.
So I think it should be addressed. So the poverty, you realize that you don't have money, and somebody says to you, "God, let's go buy this out."
So imagine poverty is making somebody spend. Okay, you want to escape poverty, but you are paying to escape poverty.
Only poverty is really bad. Poverty is bad.
Poverty, there's certain phrase being said, poverty is the enemy.
You're not trying to chase poverty. It's true, by the way.
Yeah.
Poverty is not a good thing, and for a young person, it's good to be in a sober mind, so that you always have an objective. What do you want to achieve in life? Because with poverty, yes, the society view like someone who's not helpful.
Yeah.
And also you see yourself helpless. You see? So it's good for young people also to try to venture into things that are very constructive, things that can help them to build their future. Because you don't want to live the life your parents live.
True.
Yeah. You should make a difference. Yeah. And that difference you can only achieve that if you are in a sober state. If you take care of your mind and you are mentally fit. And now this to the young people, we need just to engage in things that will make us help make our mind fit, so that we can think constructively.
True. So one of the causes of depression, dissatisfaction with life, is poverty. And actually the risk about it is when now poverty leads you to abuse of drugs. And there is no drug which you take which is even a quality. You'll end up getting into cheap liquor. And cheap liquor, you even meet guys with burnt lips. Guys who is even throat, the voice cannot come out clearly. And the reason is this guy has given up with life, hopelessness.
So you're just lazing around. So when someone comes and tells you, let's go, I have something, let's go and drink.
True. And actually, as we were talking about the red wine, those white wine, they are not things which can be bought by the poor. They can be bought by
the quality of it. The content that destroys you depends also on the money that you have.
The little the content, the higher the money.
So when you want to do something which is very safe, and even recently, about the sugar, there's something that captured my eye.
Which sugar? There's sugar which was contraband. Yeah? I think I bought that sugar.
There's something that caught my eye, and I thought about it, and it's a good idea. I don't know, there's one of politician who posted it, that as most people of us, Kenyans, we use sugar in our tea. Those people are well off, who are rich. They use honey. Honey is natural.
Honey is natural.
Just take a honey, but you in your tea. But
you must put
the common one.
Because for me, I must put 3 spoons, the full ones.
And you don't know the content of that.
A spoon which is full to the brim. Now, there is some time I bought some sugar which was dark. And the sugar is black. Okay. Well, now it means the poorer you are,
the risk.
The riskier life is. So man, say it's important. Let us put in effort to at least the people who are not suffering at the lowest of the pyramid.
Yeah, we need just to take good care of our health.
Yeah. I think also with mental health, you mentioned that it is like an escape route. You feel like my mind is so filled up with things. Let me take this. In the process, true by the way, and I think in the process of trying to feel good, it catches up. It catches up, and actually it happens a lot when, especially for young men, when they are heartbroken. Sometimes young men get to, not even young men these days, both gender. They get to into things, you know. So I think some things you can control. You just contain yourself and do things which will help you in the long run. Yeah. Do you think there could be any other way that maybe mental health issues could be a factor to drugs and substance abuse? And generally now, how can young people combat the problem of mental health? Now that there is awareness is being done rampantly. NGOs have gotten their fair share of criticism and those ambassadors. Yeah. But now, what exactly can we do? Because there's even an article I wrote that mental health issues have not started happening in Africa after colonization. No. Mental health issues have been in Africa since long time ago. If you read Chinua Achebe's book, you find Okonkwo was actually depressed, and he went to be taken care of by the uncle.
Then things fall apart.
Things fall apart. Yeah. So mental health issues are not started today. There are even ways in which the Luo community used to behave when they have been bereaved. Was it shaving their hair?
Yeah, the wife and the children, if the husband has died.
Yeah, they shave all the hair, and there are even places where there are 40 days for how to be in the process of
grieving.
Yeah, in the process of bereaving. I think so. This means that mental health issues are not European issues. There is that thinking as well. People think, because counseling, psychology is a cause that did not come. There is little actually, as we have contributed to in terms of curriculum, but this problem has been here. So maybe what we know there are many sources, but what are some of the things that we can do to make sure that we do not lose people?
Yeah. Okay. The one thing that I think it should be a responsibility of each and every person, that we try to be the good friend that never existed. People say there is no good friend, there are no good friends. But if we people, you stop saying there's no good friend, and we be those friends who want to have, then we can start from there. Because with the mental health, when you just sometimes you're just depressed, and you just feel like people don't see the problem you have. People, you feel that they don't understand when you speak to them, they don't understand. But the moment you can get someone and speak to someone, speaking to somebody, speaking out sometimes is also a cure or a medicine for us to release us from some other things. So when you get someone you can speak to, it's good. So I'll advise that first of all, you have to identify the main cues. What are some of the things that causes makes you find you are in a situation where you are not reasonable?
So number one, be the good friend that never existed. That is to, sometimes as well, it looks like memes and jokes when people say, check up on your friends, do this. I think it's quite important. Sometimes you can just feel refreshed and therapeutic when a friend reaches out. And you can even not talk about your situation. Just catch up generally and you feel refreshed, you feel energized.
You can even open up and say, my friend.
Yeah, true. That's number one. That's being the friend who never existed. Good. Let's proceed.
Point number 2, you also have to, as a person, because being a friend is overall.
Yeah.
You can help your brother, and also the brother can help you.
Yes.
And the sister can help you. But then the other thing is now identify the main cues. What causes you to feel you are mentally unfit?
Yeah.
You know, you can solve a problem if you don't know the cause.
Yes.
For you to find a solution, that's not the cause. So when you know that these are the things that makes me feel unfit, you now start. From there, you can now start addressing.
Yes.
We can say that you can go for counseling.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Okay.
People will say, oh, you know what, there's no need for counseling. But sometimes you just need someone to talk to. Someone who has skills, who knows how they can guide you so that you can overcome that problem that you are.
So you need to understand when your mental health is not right. You need to be able to feel, recognize that, okay, your mental health is not right. Number 2, you need to seek help. Now, this is where another problem comes in. There are a lot of stereotypes that come with visiting a psychologist. Many people still feel like, have you ever visited a psychologist?
Personally,
Yeah.
I haven't.
You haven't. Me too, I haven't. I haven't visited a psychologist.
But I'll tell you a reason why. Okay, it's not bad to visit a psychologist, but the reason is that things that you can control before you go for help. You see? That's why I say that you identify the main cues.
The main cues. And I think it is not also a must that for any mental health challenge you run to a psychologist.
For example, if it's about worry, if it's
Anxiety.
So you
know it's not a problem. You're just anxious. You know people say you don't be anxious about tomorrow.
And that's what I want to say. For a young person, we need to stop worrying of things that we can't control.
Yeah.
For example, if right I don't have money, and even if I start worrying, I should go and work and get that.
True. I like that diagram which shows you a problem. Is there something you can do? Yes. Then why worry? Then down here, a problem. Is there something you can do? No. Then why worry? It's the same thing.
It's the same. Yeah. So don't worry. If you can't do something you can't control it, do what you can, how you can better it. You see. But if you stay there now, I'm just worrying. Money, I don't have this and worry. Even if you worry, what can you need to
find if there is something you can do about it, do it. Give it your best.
So stop worrying.
Yeah. So those ordinary problems like you have just received a call, you don't feel good about it, you don't just run to psychologist. You can manage, you can sleep and you wake up good. But for serious problems, there are people who undergo serious mental health.
Like for example, when someone lost their loved one.
Yes.
So there are people that can overcome it. There are people.
It's really serious. Sometimes even separations. Separations are serious.
And more so if the person, one of the people that you didn't expect it.
Yeah.
It won't be a problem that person who was already prepared for it.
There are those guys who just behave as if they didn't know it, but they are the ones who orchestrated it.
They wanted it to happen.
They have been planning it over time. So when you are hit by surprise separation, especially I've seen people who separated, divorced, chaotic ones, and even to date, their minds are not right. You can't have a conversation with them for a minute without them mentioning their former partner. So I think for serious mental health issues, it's important to seek help.
Yeah, it's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
To go to seek help. Just many currently youths. Recently, I think it was 1 month ago, there was this lady, they broke up with her boyfriend.
Okay.
And the lady was really depressed. Was not ready for it. So, to a point where he has lost all the hope.
Yeah.
He thinks that this is the only guy that was born for him in this world. I think as youths, we always need just to be realistic. Yeah, we just need to be realistic. That some of them should
And accept situations. If someone has left you, maybe it is them who don't have a good taste of good things.
if it's not working.
Yeah, so it's also good to act with moderation. Yeah, do not over expect, do not overdo. It's just good to be relaxed about life. But we can go on and on.
I think we should have time.
We should have time because we are almost headed to 1 hour walking. We have not even exhausted what we can say.
You know, mental drug abuse is a crisis or is an issue that can't be addressed.
True.
So even what you have just mentioned, there's a few.
Yeah, it's just an overview of the problem. We know there are government agencies like NACADA, very many NGOs are focused on mental health awareness, and some even have professionals who help people. It's important, as the Kevin had mentioned, to understand yourself. What triggers you, what makes you uncomfortable, when do you know when you are not well?
Because you're the boss.
It's also, yeah, true, being the boss. And actually being the boss is actually the summative point on drugs and substance abuse. It's good as you engage, as you indulge, make sure that you are the boss of your life. Make sure that you don't reach a point where drugs are ruling your life. Secondly, about mental health issues is understand yourself, know when you're feeling this or that, and when you can control and when it almost gets out of hand, because without controlling it and putting it at hand, it means you will end up in things like drug abuse and dangerously worse, things like suicide, which is not acceptable and it is very unfortunate. You should avoid that. So ensure you are the good friend who never was, as Kevin mentioned. Be a person who engages in free conversations, reaches out to check what other friends are doing. That's important. If you see this is getting out of hand, it's important to seek professional help. There are professionals who have gone to school to understand people, to understand problems, and help people cope up with their problems. So I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for your time, and we also extend our warmest appreciation to our guests, Mr. Calvin Otieno. Thank you, bro.
Thank you for inviting me.
Karibu sana. And we are looking forward to having more and more conversations about social issues, about how we can develop our communities, and how we can be great Africans on the global map. Sawa sawa. Asante sana bro.
Okay.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Good.